Yeah, honestly, I'd never been to the Ridge or Brainerd before, and I just really struggled. Ridge whooped my butt when I high sided on Friday out of qualifying. It was had to go to the hospital and yeah, bruised a lung and sprained and messed up some ribs and stuff. And it was a rough one. I actually wasn't sure we are gonna be able to do that, but I kind of that made us start. I think we started on the fourth or fifth row of the race and just worked my way through both those as best I could at the Ridge. And yeah, I knew coming here would be a good track for us. Barber here and Jersey are probably some of my strongest tracks. And then didn't do any justice this morning, throwing it down again in qualifying. So, but yeah, we're happy to be back here. It's a fun track. I have a lot of friends and family out here, and I think now, if we do this again next year, having ridden at Brandon and the Ridge, we have a lot more information about it, and they're just really tough tracks, fun but difficult.
So today's race, they got away from you a little bit, but you just hung in there, and pretty soon it became a four-rider duel for third, and you were able to get that, I think, Andrew Lee on the last lap or second to last lap.
Yeah, so kind of the same thing that happened so what happened was when Ashton crashed, it kind of pushed me way out into almost to the dirt. And that kind of the same thing that happened in Uribe just kind of, pushed us really wide in two. And everybody was making mistakes in two. I mean, literally, I think everybody in that group at one point either almost ran off the track or ran wide. So it was just a hard corner in today's race. And I put my head down and I knew I had some consistency on the guys. And, I felt that, I knew the R1 would have the tire the whole race. So I just kept burning laps and not making mistakes. And, I think we were able to click some 25s off in the middle of the end of the race. And that kind of put us right back there with those guys. And then with a few laps to go, I just, knew I had to make some moves before we got into the traffic. And it played in my favor today. So.
All right. Well, congrats. Second place today, Jason Uribe. It's his fourth podium of the season. He's second in the championship, 11 points behind now. You got a great start from pole position, and things look to be A-okay, but it seems like you had a couple of issues in turn two with running wide.
Yeah, I just kept going into two, and whether it was getting a good drive out of the last corner or whether it was just me getting overexcited, I just seemed to either push my brake marker or just physically not be able to stop in time. And as soon as I ran wide on like lap 2 or 3 or so, I kind of knew. I was like, okay, well, these guys are probably going to come by me. And I love riding with Andrew. He definitely did not make it easy to get around him. It was cool. The pass I made on was pretty rough, but I trusted him to not do anything stupid, and I wouldn't do anything back to him. But yeah, after that, I just tried my best to be consistent, click off laps. I really only had one moment coming out of Rainy, and I think after I had that, it was like a wake-up call. I probably should just take it easy and get the second, and that's really what I tried to do, is just be smart, consistent, and the Orange Cat BMW ran great. Trying my best to just focus on tomorrow and see how it goes.
Are there changes you can make for tomorrow to get closer?
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of tossing up between making a wholesale change for the race, but after qualifying, I felt pretty good. I felt like I had a good package, so I wasn't too keen on doing anything too crazy. But I think for the warm-up, we're going to try throwing in a different shock and some different suspension components just to see what we can do with some of the really wicked squat that I get from the rear on the throttle. But we'll try it, see how it goes, and go from there.
Okay, thank you. Our winner today, Hayden Gillum. It's his 5th win of the year. He's our championship points leader, as I said, by 11 points. You talked before the race, and you always do, about getting a good start, and you didn't.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't. This year's been great with starts. I've been getting really good starts. I've whole shotted a few, and I think I was just too antsy, and I wanted to try and get a good start and try and get to the front if I could, and it was a little bit longer light than I was expecting it to be, and so by the time the lights started going off, I'd kind of blown my wad a little bit, and gave myself a little bit of work, and it was good. The bike, we made some changes from this morning, and the bike's a lot different than what it was at the Ridge. We're kind of back to where we were at Brainerd setup wise, and we've just been chasing some chatter and haven't been able to get away from it yet. It got better in the race, but we're trying everything, and then I'm struggling with rear grip. I'm coming out of turn 2, 3, 4, just spinning the thing up and struggling on drives a little bit, and so it was tough to make the passes, and luckily for me, Jason ran wide the one lap into turn 2, and I was able to get by him, and then that lap I got a good run out of 6 on Andrew and made the pass into the corkscrew, and yeah, it took them a little bit to get by Andrew, and I was able to get a little bit of a gap, and then the last 5 laps or so, that gap came down pretty quick from me to Jason, and he made me push a lot harder than I wanted to at the end of the race, especially with having crashed a few of the last races. So it's
You only crash on Sundays.
that's the problem. It's Saturday, so I still got Sunday to go. But no, I'm happy. It was a really good race. It was a hard fought race, and the guys have given me a great bike. I'm starting to have fun this weekend. I've been really off headspace wise, and and then my kids aren't sleeping very good, so it's been rough this weekend for me mentally, and I'm trying to get past it now.
And probably this morning's thing didn't help either.
Yeah, and then putting the bagger down on the ground this morning didn't work out either. So 2 nights of not sleeping so great, and then just not being super confident with myself, and then crashing and adding and beating up that confidence some more has hurt me. But we're good. We're here now, and it's gonna be another good race tomorrow.
All right. Well, congrats.